Millionaires Summit. So if you want to talk about that a little bit and why people must be there. So it's going to be epic.
That's pretty easy. That's easy to sell. Let me get the recording going for anybody who's wants to watch this later. Welcome back to the Multifamily Wholesaling Bootcamp. My name is Walter Murillo. It feels like it's been forever, except you haven't gone anywhere. The same amount of time has passed. I was just away at a live event. So live events feel much bigger than they are. And the education that I received from being in a room with the same people for 72 hours is transformative. We were discussing how to double your income. We were talking about how the disc profile can be used at a higher level to increase your sales conversions and to increase your marketing. I know everybody on this call, or most of the people on this call, have used disc, and we talk about disc a lot in the form of converting people, but very rarely do we talk about how to get more leads from disc. And it turns out that there is a very specific way to market each identified client, the people that you want. If you hit your D's with a lot of information, they will never open the link. They will never sign in. They will never do anything you're looking for. If you hit your C's with, you should take action, this is the ROI, you're never going to get the desire from them. Same with the I's. If you give the I's a community or family feel, they'll be but the S's will light up. The S's will be interested. But if you go high adventure, talk about destination events, talk about travel, talk about fun and how much enjoyment we're going to have, well, the I's, they'll be there before anybody else can see the ad. Hands to camera if you recognize that's true. Marketing is very specific. So live events are extremely valuable. Darina is a high I. She loves live events. So she's been working very hard on the 100 Millionaires Summit. She's been putting together some amazing speakers. Answer the camera if you know there's going to be 10 millionaires on stage speaking. This is 10 people who have made $1 million. Yes, most of us did it through real estate. In fact, all of us own real estate, multiple units in real estate, and we all cash flow that way. I believe that if we're talking about the yardstick of who owns the most real estate, it's still me. But that doesn't mean I'm not open to having people with more real estate on the stage. It's simply that the people who volunteered said, I think I can deliver the most, had more passion, had more time, had more drive to be there. Hands to the camera if you recognize it takes a commitment to be successful. I'm on a mission to build 100 millionaires. That's 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. And so it took a very specific person to be on stage with us. It had to be somebody who was a millionaire, obviously, who was also inspired to build 100 millionaires. Each of the coaches who will be at this event have made the commitment. They are in this to build 100 millionaires themselves. For those who have not met our coaches, I apologize. They're pretty damn amazing. Go to ibuildmillionaires.com/summit and you can learn about them. You can read about the event. And if you're interested in registering, Darina just dropped a link in the chat. It's ibuildmillionaires.com/summit. We're going to set the schedule to double your income. This is not a slogan. This is not a gimmick. This is a true process that I have followed since 2013, where I started doubling my income. Now, it starts small. Hence, if you recognize it, you won't jump to $1 million if you haven't made $500,000 yet. You have to, it starts small, right? My first year was $17,000, so I had a long way to go. But the second year I made 100,000. I jumped 5 times in year one. Hands to the camera if you recognize if you're under 100,000, we're getting you there no matter what. Year one, that's the goal. Excellent. So then it's a 3 to 5 year process to $1 million. Some people will jump again in significant amounts. Some people will just double. Hands to the camera if it's okay if all you do is double your income each year. Yes. I don't think anybody's going to cry for you. It'll be all right. Goal number 1, set up a business plan for you to double your income. Goal number 2, commit to that business plan. How many people know that there's a process for committing to something, that you could have all the plan and all the ideas, but then going and actually doing it, it just doesn't happen for some people. Has anybody ever experienced that before? Knowing what to do, but not doing it? So we're going to make sure that you commit to the plan and not in some, again, bullshit or esoteric way, an actual process that hypnotizes your mind so you do it no matter what. Hands to camera if you're okay with being hypnotized to hit your own goals, your own desires, your own dreams, your success. Excellent. So we will not be manifesting anything we desire aside from the 100 millionaires. So if you're not interested in being 100 millionaires, if you're not interested in being one of our 100, you don't have to come. But if you do know that you'd like to commit to doubling your income, if you'd like to commit to being able to inspire others to double their income, if you'd like to be able to commit to inspire others to buy assets instead of liabilities, except for Brian Mazzilli gets this one that he turned an asset, turned a liability into an asset. He actually bought a car and is now renting the car out. So we may allow you to do some of that as well. Let's give anybody who's created some stream of income this week for themselves a side hustle a round of applause. I love the concept of helping people. When I started, there was nobody helping me. The first person that had to help me was myself. You're in the same situation no matter where you're at. There's nobody else out there who's going to help you get to that next level. It's got to be you. You got to commit. You have to have a dream. I can't help people without a dream. But if you have a dream, me and the coaches can make sure you work your way back to that dream. It starts with a goal and we work your way towards it. Hands can if you know you've got some big goals. Excellent. You register for iBuildMillionaires/summit. It's the 100 Millionaires Summit. All of us are getting together one time a year. This is the most powerful networking event you will ever experience. There is no other networking event that has the singular premise that everybody in the room is committed to making $1 million. Hands can if you know that's true. There's no other event on the planet where every single attendee swears an oath to do whatever it takes to double their income each year. Hands camera if you know that's where you want to be October 22nd to the 24th. Hell yeah. Give yourselves a round of applause. Dorina, is there anything I have missed?
Just, I would say one thing that you haven't mentioned, many people in this wonderful community are asking, how can you give back? And I know there's only one ask Walter makes is to become successful. This is the way you get back and give back. So that's the only thing you missed. But other than that, you're amazing.
To Dorina's point, I get asked all the time, how can I help you? How can I serve the mission? How can I do more? How can I make sure that you guys are getting this across to other people? Hands camera if you want to be a wholesaler, want to buy real estate, be a landlord, flip real estate, eventually hold paper, have so much money that 10, 12% interest makes you rich, then it takes you focusing on doing the process. You can only help me in my mission by being successful first. Remember, the process is 100 millionaires inspired to build 100 millionaires, but you must be a millionaire first. So if there's anything we can do to get you there, ask. We're here for your support. We're here to help. In fact, we bring on amazing speakers who have the knowledge, who have experience, who have done amazing things. Today, we have Bruno Maluf, who has become a landlord of over 34 units at the age of 24 years old. So if you believe that it's difficult, if you believe that you can't do it in this market, let me tell you, the longer you hold on to your limiting beliefs, the longer they will be true. But today we have somebody who's going to prove that it is possible to do it today. It is possible to do it in this market. It is possible to do it at a young age. I remember when I started, I thought age was the reason I couldn't be successful. Nobody would trust me. Nobody would want to work with me. Nobody would want to lend to me. I remember that being a limiting belief. Bruno, do you believe other people have that same limiting belief?
I do, and I only believe it, Walter, because I had it at one point myself, man. So you're preaching.
So Bruno is going to explain something to you that everybody on this call, everybody who you one day want to mentor, one day want to teach, is going to need to hear. There is no truth behind your limiting beliefs, only fear. And if you decide today that this is your chance, this is your time, then I want you to take everything Bruno says as fact. You don't have to wear the sweater all week or all month, but at least try it on today. Try on the facts. Try on his process. Try on his style. Hands to camera if you believe and you commit that you could do this. Awesome. Let's give Bruno a round of applause. Bruno, they're all yours, brother. And before I go on, Elizabeth Miller, Kevin Pereira, thank you so much for all of the dedication to this event, dedication to this training, dedication to this community. Let's give them a round of applause for all the hard work they do, putting on our great guests, making sure that everybody knows where the links are, how to get on here. With that being said, Bruno, you're up.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, first, thanks for having me, guys. I just want to say I've had the pleasure of meeting you in person, Walter, at a few of your events, and you too, Dorina, and you guys are awesome. You know, I really love what you guys are doing. To touch on what you were saying earlier, I truly believe that giving starts the receiving process. So with the amount that you guys give, I have no doubts that you guys will be receiving quite a lump sum. So shout out to you guys. Let's give them a round of applause. But yeah, so I'm here to briefly just talk a little bit about myself, my story, how I got started in real estate, and how I came to be the owner of 35 units now at the young age of 24. So believe it or not, I started in late 2019, less than 2 years ago. And when I started, I was broke. I had no money. I was in credit card debt. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I did have a goal. I had a vision. I knew that I was going to become a landlord of multiple units that paid me rent every month, so I didn't have to slave away at my W-2 job, and I could retire my parents and live the good life, right? So the why is pretty, once you have the why and you don't have the how, I was ignorance on fire. So I was trying everything. I was talking to everybody I could. I was meeting people like Walter, and I was like, tell me, how can I do it? You know, what am I doing wrong? How can I, jump into real estate? They're like, do you have any money? I'm like, no. They're like, get lost. I'm like, damn it, next. Do you have any money? They're like, no, get lost. Eventually, I found somebody who explained to me how I could house hack. And so in 2020, February, so about, 18 months ago, a year and a half, that's when I bought my first property. I'm actually sitting in it right now. It's a 4-unit in Putnam, Connecticut, northeast corner. I've been house hacking it ever since I got started in real estate, put very little money down, started cash flowing right away. And that's all it took for me. I had that proof of concept. So I knew this was going to work. I just had to do it over and over and over again. Now, the problem was that was my FHA loan. And if you guys are familiar with FHA, you don't get more than one of them at a time. I know there's some caveats, but I didn't go down that route. So I had one, and I was like, now I need to figure out how to save up 20% down. Now, when I bought this house in February 2020, I quit my job. I was working W-2 selling cars for Toyota. I was making what I thought was good money, making like $2,000-3,000 a week on some good weeks. And I was like, I'm just going to keep saving this up and then buy more real estate. At the time, my family was here. I was living with my mother, my father, and my little brother. Unfortunately, they had to go back to Brazil. So I'm a first-generation immigrant. I came here when I was 2 years old, dropped out of college, the whole nine. And it was a big financial burden when they had to leave. They got foreclosed on, and our family was going through a lot of financial struggles. So I could never save up the money to buy more real estate. And that's when I got introduced to wholesaling. This was January 2021, so not that long ago, guys. I started wholesaling real estate. My first check ever was a $342 wholesale check. I know it's not a lot of money, but again, I had the proof of concept. So I came up with a system, I scaled it, I worked my ass off, like 16-hour days, not even kidding. I would sleep like 8 hours a week on a good week. Anyways, I got to the point where I was scaling my system and I was reaching out to 5,000 leads a day. I know it sounds like a crazy amount, but I'll give you an easy example of how easy it is to hit these numbers. And I started seeing a lot of success. I was making wholesale checks, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. I made one $40,000 wholesale check a couple months ago. My biggest one was closer to 70. And, I kept using that money to buy more real estate. And instead of buying rentals, I decided I was going to go down the BRRRR model. So for those of you who don't know, although I'm assuming you all do, buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. So I would find these dilapidated wholesale deals. I would look at my bank account and I'm like, you know what? I got enough to close on this. I would find a hard money lender, pay the 12%, 1% a month, 3% down. And I just started scaling that. I would buy every single wholesale that came across my desk, and we got to the point where I was at 18 units. And I decided I didn't have time to manage all the units. I didn't have time to do all the sales. I didn't have time to network with all the lenders and everything that it took, manage all the contractors. So my partner, Marco, who you guys may know, him and I started a construction company, Epiphany Construction. And we used our company to only work for ourselves. Any house that we bought, we have our own W-2 employees that do all the work for us. And that's what helped us really scale the BRRRR model, because a lot of profit gets left on the table if you buy wrong, if you sell wrong, and if you rehab wrong. So we took care of all those points. After that, I started building out a sales team to acquire wholesales for me. I have 3 people full-time working on the wholesale side of things, bringing deals to my desk, and I would just sort through them and then pick the ones that I wanted. Just give me 1 second here, guys.
While Bruno is delivering this powerful experience that he's gone through, hands to camera if you're getting chills down your spine thinking, holy shit, this guy is moving exactly the way I want to move.
Right.
If you're listening, you're like, damn, like this is exactly the speed I want to be moving at. Excellent.
Yeah. So
now I've got to jump off, but fortunately this is recorded. This is live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So if anybody does have to jump off, make sure you get back on and listen to the rest of this. It's going to be a powerful night at 6 p.m. We're going to be jumping on the phones with Elizabeth and Kevin. So one more time, I just want to give everybody who is here, who's growing and getting to the next level, a round of applause. And Bruno, I'm already loving the beginning of this. Thank you, brother, for being here.
Yeah, thank you again for having me. So anyways, I was scaling out all these systems, working like an animal, and fast forward now, I'm 2 years into the business. I own 35 units and well over $2 million worth of real estate. In total, you guys are gonna love this part. Of my own money that I put into these deals, I think it's about $12,000 total, like my entire career. So creative finance is a real thing, guys, and it's not some mystery. You don't need a high credit score. I think I had a 590 when I got started. Like, not even kidding. And I'm a little embarrassed saying it out loud, but it is what it is, you know? Just to show people, like what you were saying in the beginning, you don't need to have all this money, all these connections. You don't have to come from a rich family. You don't have to have an 850 credit score. You just have to have a good enough reason, and you'll find a way. And that's one of the best things I like about your guys, you know, boot camp and pretty much everything that you guys do online. So it really is awesome to be here today. And one thing I want to mention on the wholesaling side of things. So nowadays I make most of my money through flipping and not wholesaling. And that really is the natural progression of any good wholesaler. You know, eventually you save up some money from these fees that you're making, and you use it on a down payment, on whether it's a hard money loan or a conventional or whatever you want to do, to buy property yourself, because real money comes in ownership, you know? And anybody on the summit, if you guys do go, it sounds like an awesome, awesome event. You guys should go. Anybody on the summit will tell you the same thing, you know? The agents who sell real estate, yeah, they make a little bit of money. The wholesalers, yeah, I was making a little bit of money. But when I saw the CDs at the end of a deal of what the flipper was making when they sold it, I was like, okay, you paid me 40 grand to buy this house, but you refied, made 120 grand tax-free, and now you have a cash flowing asset every month. So for me, that was the natural progression. So I make more money doing that now, but wholesaling is what allowed me to get started in all this. And I literally didn't know, you know, the difference between a stud and a steel beam when I started. You don't have to be an expert. I networked, I found a good cash buyer that I could trust, and I asked them to help me. I said, hey, if I find a house and I don't know what the rehab is, do you mind walking through with me? I'll try to close the guy and see where we can go from there. And it worked. And that was my $300 check that I started with. Yeah. And that's pretty much my story, guys. I'd be happy to take any questions or whatever. If anybody wants to ask me anything, happy to help.
Yeah, feel free. Thank you, Bruno, for sharing. Yeah, feel free to unmute your mics and ask the question. Kim threw a question in the chat. Kim, can you ask your question?
Hi, Bruno. Thanks for being with us today. Great nuggets, and good for you for just a short period of time and having boots on the ground. That's awesome. Can you explain the tax-free part that you just said, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the kind words, Kim. Pleasure to be here. And first thing I want to say, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a CPA, this is not financial advice, but the tax-free part comes in. When you make money selling a flip, if it's a short-term asset that you sold, you're going to pay either capital gains tax or another version of that, depending on what business structure you have. However, if you
You just froze.
Bruno, are you with us?
You guys with me?
Oh, there you go. We got you now.
I cut out. I'll just start from the top. So if you're selling an asset and it's a short-term asset, you're going to pay capital gains tax on it. If you're taking out a loan, which a refinance is, you don't get taxed on a loan. A loan is not taxable income. It's a loan. It's debt. You don't get taxed on debt. So that's where that comes from. Hope that answered your question.
So what you're saying is it's your method has been more on the burr side versus a traditional fix and flip, where your exit strategy is selling it to, the retail market, basically.
I'm saying I've done both, and it's a lot better when you don't have to write a 5 or 6 figure check to Uncle Sam.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a good question. Thank you, Kim.
So where have you been doing your deals? I know you said that specific one is in Connecticut. So are you mostly in New England area or?
Yep. So I started my business and I was pretty much raised in Northeast Connecticut, Woodstock and Putnam area, small towns, they call it the quiet corner. And that's where I do most of my deals. I know the market really well here. I know all the buyers. I know most of the sellers by name now. And it's got to the point where any good deal that's off market, it usually passes through my desk. So I highly recommend focus on an area, become a master at that area. And it's not to say that you can't take deals further away, but let's just play out a scenario. Let's say you're a wholesaler and the goal of your business is to get 3 qualified appointments per day. Okay. That means every week you're going to every week you're going to, let's say you work 5 days a week, 15 appointments. If those appointments are an hour and a half away, it's going to make a big difference rather than if they're 10 or 15 minutes down the road, especially since as a wholesaler, you're probably going to go to the same house more than one time. You're going to go there once, try to close them on the spot. You probably won't close them. Probably going to have to send a DocuSign email to try to close them over email. Then you're going to have to get a buyer and you're going to walk your buyer through. And that's another time you got to drive there. So if you're doing deals that are an hour and a half away, it might take you 6.5 hours just to get a deal done, minus whatever you do paperwork wise. Now, if the same deal is 15 minutes away, you can get 6 deals done in the same amount of active time. Now, if you're doing wholesaling the right way, you can get your active income up to like stupid numbers, like thousands of dollars per hour on the low end, tens of thousands per hour, hundreds of thousands per hour if you do it right. The biggest deal I bought was a 28 unit deal. I bought off market. It started out as a wholesale deal, a wholesale lead that I went to. She was like, Bruno, I have all these properties. I want to get rid of them. I'd rather retire with the cash. And I inherited them. Quite honestly, she was running them into the ground. She didn't know what to do with them. So I made her an offer. She liked it. She accepted it. And instead of wholesaling it, I found the financing, closed on this one cash. They actually paid me to close on this one, which is pretty much all my deals at this point. And you'll find that as you start flipping and building relationships with lenders, they'll just throw money at you. So money's never really the problem. But this deal turned into a $500,000 equity play for me. Like as I signed on the paper, we made about $500,000 in equity, and that's it. So if that appointment was about an hour and a half away, I don't know if it would have gone the same way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So what's your basic approach? Is it, here we're here for cold calling, but do you do other ways of finding your deals? Yes. Or just networking with wholesalers at this point?
No, I don't outsource to any other wholesalers. We do all of it in-house. So I'm a huge fan of cold calling. I love sales. Like sales is my lifeblood of any business I've ever started. And is the lifeblood of anybody who's not a W-2 employee. But I don't shy away from cold calls at all. I try to make at least 100 a day. And if you're not doing that, you really have to find other ways to reach out. But you can't skip the cold calls because somebody's going to call that lead. Someone's going to book the appointment. Like if you're in my market and you're not cold calling these leads, I'm going to close them for you. Other good methods are you can set up drip campaigns via email. You can do text blasts. Text blasts work really well to warm up leads before you call them. And then the call isn't so cold. It's more of a warm call. And that's a big way that I was able to scale my business in the beginning. I mean, I was a little bit shy of doing cold calls at first before I grew to love them. I would text a bunch of leads that I would, mine these lists from the public record. And I would basically have like a 3-sentence script that would qualify them. A, are you the owner? B, would you consider a cash offer? C, when can I give you a call? And that's it. So definitely don't shy away from the cold calls. If you can warm them up before you call them, great. But nothing's going to happen if you don't get on the phone with these people.
Yeah. So what is your approach? Do you have a lot of partners or do you do all your walkthroughs yourself? How do you manage the day-to-day activities Do you delegate a lot?
I try, but nobody cares in your business as much as you do. I have one business partner who we're almost 50-50 on everything. I mean, there's properties I own without him. But we work our asses off. Like, I wake up 5:30 in the morning and maybe I'm home by 10 o'clock at night. My girlfriend hates me for it, but it is what it is. She sees the vision. In terms of delegation, I mean, not really. Right now I'm running 3 or 4 businesses. I do the property management. I do the wholesale acquisition. I do the construction company. Like, I'm there with my crews, flipping the houses with them if I need to be. Otherwise, I'm making sure materials are there. And we do weekly meetings to set up the schedule and goals for the week, accountability stuff. It's just a lot of work. You're not going to get away from the work. If you guys came into real estate looking for a quick way to become a millionaire and an easy way to become a millionaire, it can be quick, but it's not going to be easy. And the quicker it is, the harder it is. That's for sure. Yeah, and I see a couple of other questions here. Do you mind if I just kind of pick through them? Awesome. Hey, Bruno, can you please share your financing strategy on property 2 through 5, please? Good question. So property 2 was a flip that I bought with a couple friends of mine in Killingly, Connecticut. I don't own it anymore. We flipped it quick. I ended up having to do a lot of the work myself. I was even on a roof in the winter with a flamethrower, melting ice and shaving off shingles just to get it done in time. But financing wise, I found a hard money lender. And since I had no experience, he wanted 20% down. So we came up with the money down and he wouldn't fund the rehab. So I put it mostly on my credit cards and my buddies did the same thing. That's how we funded that one. After that, 2 through 5 is a really good question, by the way, because number 3 was easier. At that point, it was still 20% down of the acquisition, but he saw, that we were going places. And he gave us the rehab loan in draw stages as well. So that was pretty cool. And then after that, I mean, I built such a good relationship with this guy that after number 3, I think it was. Yep, after number 3, I didn't have to bring any money to the table. They were paying me to close on these properties. I bought a place in Mystic, Connecticut, Stonington. Put $0 down. They gave me all the acquisition money. It was a wholesale lead that I had. All my flips are. And then as we do the rehab, they just give me money in draw stages. And since I run a construction company, I make money on the draws. If they give me 15 grand for a kitchen and I can get it done for 9 grand, it's tax deferred 6 grand profit. So after number 3, it was all the same way. Private money, hard money. Really, it's just, I heard Walter talk a lot about momentum. And in real estate, momentum is one of the biggest key factors when it comes to growing your business. So when you start, it's going to feel slow. It's going to feel like you're one person pushing this giant weight and the finish line is so far away that you can't even see it. But once you get past that one, somebody recognizes you. They're like, oh, okay, he knows what he's doing. He's got a track record. Let's try it again. And if you can do that a few times with the same person, they're going to start trusting you with their money because they're making 1% a month on you and usually 3% when you close. So it's a win-win for everybody. So that was that. I hope that answered your question. Let's see. What would you say is the top 2 creative financing hacks? That's a good question. Number 1, if you're just getting started and you want to take it easy, you don't want to flip yet, maybe you want to buy a multifamily, house hacking, number 1, the best way. Find like a triplex or a fourplex, something that you can go in on with very low money down. You can use an FHA loan. Sometimes there's even down payment assistance programs. I know in Rhode Island, you can get 0% down on a lot of these properties up to a certain amount. I think it's 500,000. Don't quote me on that. So that's my favorite for getting into like landlording. Now, in terms of flips, private money is the best way to go. And if you feel like you can't do it because maybe you don't have the right networking skills or you don't have enough money down for your first couple flips, find somebody you can partner with that does. Leverage their success, leverage their track record, and bring something to the table that adds value so that they'll work with you. For example, if you grind your ass off driving for dollars, finding a wholesale deal, and you can assign it for a 10 grand profit, but the flipper is going to make 100 grand, find a flipper, be like, hey man, I have this contract. I don't want to sell it to you. I want to partner with you. I'll be there all night scraping paint off the wall, whatever I got to do. Tell me what to do. Help me get the financing. You won't have to put any money down. I'll introduce you to these lenders. And then at the end, we'll both make 50 grand. And I know anybody here, if they're experienced, if you got a call like that from somebody who's a novice, I'm sure you'd sit down and review the deal, wouldn't you? I know I would. Yep. So those would be my two best creative financing hacks. Yeah, that is commitment, man. Maxed out credit cards. But it wasn't my first tango with business. When I was 17, I guess 18, it was right on the cusp. I started my first business, failed miserably. I was in crypto in 2017. I know. How can you fail in crypto in 2017? I found a way. I was 30 grand in debt. It took me 2 years of bartending and serving tables to pay it off. I failed like 3 other businesses after that. And then I found real estate, and all my personal development came to a crux, and it all came together. Yeah, you're welcome, Waz. Glad you liked it. Any other questions that I can help you guys with?
Yeah, out of your 35 properties in your portfolio now, how many do you have debt on? Are you at the point where your commercial loan, if you do have debt on them, under your business entity, or how are you doing it now?
Clint, your question was how many of the properties do I have debt on?
Yeah, 10-4.
Yep, every single one.
And you're under your commercial entity as far as the financing now?
Nothing's in my personal name. I have a few LLCs that I use. On the financing side, I did have to start out PGing stuff, personally guaranteeing it. But like I said, once you build these relationships, I mean, he doesn't even check my credit anymore. He doesn't care about my income. You know, I have a few different lenders that I use, but one that I use more often than any other one. And I can just call him up, send him the property card, send him the numbers, and he'll approve me. He'll, get me the money next day if I need it. Yeah.
That's appreciated.
Yeah, no problem.
So what's the next step for you?
So I can't say too much, but my goal for 2022, which is right around the corner, guys, so I hope you have your 2022 goals at least brewing up in your mind, is to build 100 units. And I'm currently selling a couple of my properties, taking some equity, turning it into cash. And I'm going to use that to buy all the machinery that I need to be able to keep costs low. And my difference between price per square foot of build cost and price per square foot of refinance cost, because I want to hold these units, my goal is about $100 per square foot of tax-free profit. Not profit, technically a debt, but if you know anything about scaling a business, the word debt and the word profit are a lot closer than you'd think.
So you're looking for land then?
Yep, I have some land that I'm currently negotiating on. I have some under contract that I can execute on, but I'm always looking. So if anybody here has any land in or around the tri-state area, so Connecticut, Mass, Rhode Island, I'm buying, cash buyer, closing 7 days, as soon as title's clear. Just got another question from Samuel. How do you generate leads? So warm leads are nice and all, and I've seen people do the Facebook ad stuff. I've seen people do the referral network, friends and families, and it is nice. I won't lie. It is nice when somebody calls me and says, hey, I got this property. Can you come take a look at it? It's like, yeah, great. But you're not going to scale a business that way. You need to be doing a lot of cold outreach. So in terms of generating leads, I buy them. I buy plenty of lists online, and I hit up every single person relentlessly until they hate me. And then I buy all their properties. Hope that answered your question.
So do you have a more successful list that you like, such as?
Yes. The list that I found the most success with is absentee owners, which means they live in a different state from the property.
Oh no, he's frozen again. Maybe he'll come back here soon. Oh, there you are.
All right. Yeah, sorry. If you're wondering where you can find these lists, there's a bunch of list brokers, but one of the companies I started was actually a lead generation company for these lists. So I have partners across the world that mine the public record, and they compile all the known phone numbers, all the known emails, all the known mailing addresses, of all these properties that match whatever description they want. So if you are interested in how you can buy these lists, the leads are pretty cheap. It's like pennies per lead. Hit me up and I can connect you with my people. And then we just got another question here. Since most of us aren't contractors, any recommendations on how we can find a good contractor and work with them? Good question, Mark. This is probably the hardest part of the business. I remember when I got started, just finding good people to do work was so hard for me that I found myself learning how to sheetrock, learning how to mud tape, paint, floor. I learned how to roof. I mean, I don't think there's much that I can't do. I learned electrical, plumbing, probably foundational work is one of the only things I don't know how to do. But brute force is what I would do. Talk to everybody and anybody. And go to every single networking event you can. Referrals is a good way. If you find a beautiful house and you know who owns it, ask them who did the work on it. You know, find the top 10 flippers in your area, ask them who they use. Buy them dinner. Try to get on their good side. So that's my advice when it comes to contractors. Cool. Yeah, I can put my contact info in the chat. Let's see. We got 30 people in here. Yeah, I'll put my cell phone. If you do reach out to me, please tell me who you are so I can save your contact info. Thanks. And if you share this, I will blacklist you.
Thank you. That's awesome. Great advice. I love it. You're very driven. You don't let no's and not today's get you down. You just keep plowing through. That's awesome.
Never.
So what is your normal sequencing with those types of, you know, lack of motivated sellers?
Do you mean like ones that aren't so like aren't good leads, or?
So what is your approach in the sequencing or the length of the pipeline? Like I have a sales background. Do you follow up once a month? Or is it more frequent than that? Do you like door knocking too, sending out a stray postcard, or is it just strictly calls and texts?
Honestly, guys, and I'll spill all the beans here. Texting and calling is going to be your best way, and calls over text. Text is if you're feeling, I don't know, bummed out. Maybe you got strep throat, you caught COVID, you can't really talk that well, but you got to be calm with people. Here's my sales pipeline. I follow a straight line sales system, and this is some gold. So if you're taking notes, now's the time. Step one, you're going to want to greet the client. Let's say you're on the phone. Hey, Mr. Prospect, how are you? Great. My name is Bruno, real estate investor in the area. Drove by your property on 123 Main Street. Just calling to see if you'd consider a cash offer on it. Did I catch you at a bad time? No, you didn't catch me at a bad time at all. Great. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about the condition? No, I don't mind at all. Awesome. Then you ask your basic qualifying questions. Does the place need any major updates or repairs? It looks like the place is vacant. Is anybody currently living there? And then just pick their brain. This is where you qualify them. You ask them questions to determine whether or not it's worth you driving to their house, going through the process, and making an offer. Then, once you think they're qualified, you say, Mr. Prospect, based on everything you're telling me, sounds like we might have a deal here. When's a good time for me to come check out 123 Main Street? Can you do tomorrow at 2 or 4? And then you pick a time, you go there, and when you show up, you walk through, you make note of everything, ask them permission to take pictures. You're going to need that for your dispo packet when you go to pass this off to a buyer. If you're brand new, you can bring your cash buyer with you if you've established a really good relationship with them and you think that they're going to help you out. Otherwise, if you don't trust them, I mean, you know how it is. They can just jump the gun and talk to the client directly or the seller directly. But yeah, you don't have to know your stuff. You don't have to be like a professional. You don't have to have the experience of walking through a lot of houses. You don't even have to know all the rehab costs. At the end of the day, if you're new, you're going to want to come back, talk to a buyer and have them help you come up with the rehab costs, or talk to a contractor, have them help you quote it out. Then you're going to come up with your offer. A lot of people offer different ways. I have my own methods. Some people use the 70% rule minus rehab, which is you'll take what you think your ARV is going to be of the property, take 70% of that minus what you think your rehab costs are going to be, and then subtract whatever wholesale fee you want to make. And that's typically what you can give to a flipper. For me, I won't buy a flip if I don't make at least 100 grand. So that's what I do. I take 100 grand off, I subtract the rehab, and then I subtract my fee. Nowadays, I don't have to do the fee because I buy it myself. So there's power in being able to buy yourself. But that's pretty much it. You know, greet them, ask permission to qualify, Sell yourself, sell your company, sell your product. Your product in this case is a cash offer, fast close, no contingencies. Nobody has to walk through your house and do a million showings. You don't have to deal with any appraisals. Really important that you know what you're selling here, guys. And then after that, just close them. Go for the close. You're probably going to have to loop a bunch of times. They're probably going to have issues with or questions, concerns. They're probably going to be a little nervous. It's your job to help them through the experience, kind of like a realtor does, just in a different way. You know, usually these people have problems in their life, whether they're going to get foreclosed on, insurance is giving them a hard time, tenants ruin the place, bills they can't afford, all this stuff. They're going to be thinking, oh my God, he's going to make me an offer and I got to pay these taxes. It's your job to find out what the root objection is, handle it, or loop, and then close them. The truth is, these people need you. The second wholesale I ever did was a $20,000 wholesale. And the guy's name was Ron. He was out of North Carolina, but he owned a place in Massachusetts. Now this place, when he bought his place in North Carolina, he had this one listed and he didn't do a Hubbard clause. So he had already purchased other property. He moved there. The realtor never advised him to winterize the property in Mass. So all the pipes burst before it sold. Now he was getting foreclosed on it. His credit was going to take a hit for 7 years. He was going to have to file bankruptcy. And I called him 2 days before they subpoenaed him. And I asked him, what if I could pay your entire mortgage off and put some money in your pocket? And he said, yeah. And I still talk to Ron this day. I ask him how it's going in North Carolina. He loves me for taking that off his plate. And I made 20 grand on it and the flipper made 200. So you really get paid for the value you bring. And you only get paid a fraction of the value you bring. So make sure you're bringing a lot of value, you know. But that was a good question. And you guys are recording this, so. That's all anybody needs to start a wholesaling business.
That's fire. I'm still wondering how you scaled so fast. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a lot of sales background, but other than that, you know, I'm always working on myself. Every morning I read, and not just like Harry Potter or whatever. Nothing against reading Harry Potter or whatever, but yeah, if you guys could see my library, I don't think you'd be surprised at how well I'm doing.
That's awesome. Were there any more questions for Bruno?
Yeah, I'll throw another one in. Can you give us your, I guess, most complex wholesale deal where you had to not necessarily bend over backward, but you had to kind of go to the end of the earth for, the seller to make sure the deal closed?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. The wholesale deal that I made $500,000 on was the easiest deal I ever did. The wholesale deal that I made $364 on was the hardest deal I ever did. I don't think I got to say anything else, bro.
Makes sense.
I don't think I got to say anything else, man. If you guys have any more questions, I'll take them now, but I have to leave in 4 minutes to make it to my next appointment. What is this? Manage an investment. Oh, okay. Do's and don'ts of wholesaling. Yes, do be professional. Do not lie. Do not waste cash buyers' times, ever. Do not waste your own time, ever. You'll find out pretty quick how you waste your time wholesaling. And do not give up. That's pretty much it. If you're going to decide to wholesale, decide to do it for 5 years. I know how crazy that sounds. But if you're not going to do something for 5 years, I mean, shit, even tell yourself you'll do it for 40 years. If you're not going to do it for a long time, it's not going to work. That's the reason why I failed every other business besides this one. I mean, it sounds to you guys, I'm sure it does, that I became, super wealthy in a short period of time. But the truth is, it was like 5 years of failing. Luckily, it was only 1 year in failing real estate. But that 1 year of failing real estate, I worked as much as most people do in 5 years. So I want you to think about how many times I hit the ground and ate shit. So just don't give up. Definitely don't give up. If you're going to do it, don't give up.
Bruno, real quick, I have another quick question. Thank you. And then we'll let you go. You are dismissed from the Alchemist community. What's your take on nonprofit?
I've never really looked into it, to be honest. I would be speaking on my ass if I tried telling you something about nonprofit, Kim. But in what sense do you mean?
Just, for your construction business more than anything. I've heard of wholesalers going to flippers and then starting their own construction business, same business model as you, and they put their construction business into a nonprofit for just another way to tax shelter.
Honestly, I love, taking full advantage of the tax book as much as anyone else, but I've never looked into nonprofit. I always saw it as, I don't know why I never looked into it. That's a pretty good point you bring up, Kim. Maybe I will look into it.
Yeah, there you go. I'm in the application process of a woman-owned small business, and I'm leaning towards going into nonprofit as a
Really?
woman-owned business.
Let me ask you this. So the way it works, as far as I understand, please correct me if I'm wrong. You're a nonprofit as a business, but you can still pay yourself a salary. Is that correct?
Correct.
So
But I'm not a lawyer or a CPA, and that's disclosed.
Right. Me neither. Just hearsay. It's very interesting. Maybe I should look into it. I don't even pay myself a salary for my companies though. So I'm not sure how I would structure it, but that's pretty interesting. Do you source deals often like what I described above? What is it? 54 doors.
I think I'm in Killingly, Connecticut, looking at properties tomorrow, actually.
Really?
Oh,
Maybe
nice.
With Jag.
With Jay Lorette?
Yeah.
Are you looking at my properties?
Oh boy, I don't know.
What are they?
Are they churches?
No, but I'm looking at them too.
No, I don't know. He's got a lineup for me.
Cool. I'm sure mine will be one of them. If you do see me, then it'll be a pleasure.
Awesome.
Yeah. If anybody's looking for deals in the Killingly area, Putnam area, Northeast Connecticut in general, I have a couple of my flips that are like halfway done or whatnot that I'm wholesaling kind of like that I'm selling just to be able to get some more cash and afford some cool machinery. If anybody wants to take a look, I'd be happy to send you the dispo packets and the numbers. Just shoot me a text. Please tell me who you are, and we can take it from there.
Awesome.
I'll take one more question if anyone has it. Otherwise, it was a pleasure, guys.
Thanks, Bruno, for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you guys all for having me. I hope to see you guys at the summit. Darina, I'm not sure if you and Walter are still here, but it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks again for having me. Otherwise, I hope you guys all have a great night.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bruno.
Thanks,
Really
Bruno.
appreciate it. Yeah, let's give him a round of applause. All right, you're welcome back anytime.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
All right, thanks. All right, wins of the week. Anybody have any questions they have just in their everyday business? We didn't really take a survey. It seems like there's a lot of new people here today. Throw in the chat where you're at. We always like using it for networking. We can hop on the phones here real quick, but also we like to give the stage back to you. Is there anybody who wants to raise their hand and do some live cold calling or have any questions about how to find a list, what markets? I mean, Bruno did a great job basically giving you that nice snapshot, and hopefully I can I have my own little style. Hopefully I can do justice to that process with all these cold calls. But I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm gonna hop in my dialer here. All right, we'll share the screen, hop in. I use call tools, and I've got a couple different areas set up. I think I'm gonna hop into which one of my lists? We'll hit up Florida.
You are now connected to the predictive dialer.
I was in a different one earlier today, so. Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi, this is Liz. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you, Liz?
Good. Yeah, it sounds like I caught you driving. I'm sorry. Did I catch you at a bad time?
I'm in my car, but it's okay.
Okay. Well, like I said, my name is Liz and I'm an investor. Mostly I'm looking to network with other investors. I'm looking for my next investment property in Florida. Have you thought about selling?
I don't have a property in Florida.
Oh, I apologize. I must have some bad information here. Do you know anybody who would benefit from selling?
I don't. No.
Okay. Well, like I said,
I'm looking for investment properties too, so if you have any, send them my way.
oh yeah, definitely. What's the best way to reach you? Just the phone number here?
That's perfect.
Okay. And I'm sorry, my name's Liz. What should I call you?
Kevin.
Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin. Well, I will
And
let
how
you.
did you get my name and number?
Yeah, sure. Like I said, I think it's probably bad information with the name and the phone number match up, but I'm an investor and we utilize public information and some paid services to find owners of properties in the areas that meet our investment criteria.
Okay. All right. Well, best wishes to you.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Whew. All right. So now I got a new buyer on my buyer's list. I should have asked him what kind of property, but he was busy, so we'll leave it at that. So this is an absentee owner list. It's also small multifamily, so I can already assume a little bit about the how the conversations are going to go. But then that guy was like right off the bat ready to go. Toggle back and forth. Okay, so here's Kevin, so I'll just update it. Then I'll have to finish the rest later. So. At least I know I have a good number and we can find all the other information out later. Okay. Bring something else up here. Okay, here we go. So for those of you who haven't used call tools before, so this is an auto dialer. Its whole job and purpose is to tee up live calls to me. So it did its job really well. And then I take notes. This list is a large list. I haven't gone through it all once. So these are all going to be brand new calls. These are very cold calls, as you can tell. So I'm just taking my notes and then moving along. I don't know why it's all selected. Okay, there we go. The way I built it out too, it has a whole sequencing kind of on the back end. So as I make my live calls, it'll tee up either a voicemail, so I could drop a live or say my live voicemail message, or it'll have a real person on the other side. Once the call is done, once I select that disposition, it will go through a sequence of text messages too. So I've built them out to have six different messaging, 6 different texts, and each one kind of builds on each other. And then depending on the type of person. Hello?
Hello, you've reached 813-662-7820. I can't come to the phone right now, but if you would, leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So there we go. So I do have a script that just gives me a little bit of a framework to, talk from. A lot of times I'm just kind of qualifying and asking different questions based on their responses. So Bruno had it right. You want to take them down a certain pathway and get rid of any tire kickers. Hello?
Please leave your message for 40755295514.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Queen of voicemail, nice.
Hello?
Oh, hi, this is Liz. How's it going? Hello?
Excuse me?
Oh, hi, my name is Liz. How are you doing? Did I catch you at a bad time?
Where are you calling from?
Well, my name is Liz. I'm an investor and I'm looking to connect with owners. Have you thought about selling your property in Florida? No, didn't want to have a conversation. Okay. I just write notes, women's voice. I haven't qualified it yet. I don't know if that was the owner or not. And I want to typically ask 2 or 3 different questions and get out my bird dog feed kind of messaging. So typically, my primary objective in a initial, cold call is, to see if somebody will have a conversation we either right then and there or at a future timeline. So if they're not looking to sell, then I ask the next or secondary question, do you know any friends or family that would benefit from selling? Do they know anybody that is interested in an offer? Because, hey, I'm just an investor here, this one came on my radar, but if you're not, open to that, I want to talk to the next person who might be. And then, if they say no to that, then I just say, okay, hey, no worries. We set aside in our marketing budget $1,000. If you can connect me with an owner that's, they sell, I buy, we'll pay you $1,000 for that. So again, just trying to show the what's in it for them on the other side. So.
Hi, you have reached Eddie Rosado with Arrow Care Holdings. Please leave your message and I will return your phone call as soon as possible. Also, feel free to send a text message or an email. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Eddie. This is Liz. I'm an investor and I'm looking to network with other investors that are active in the Florida market. I'm specifically looking in Tampa and Orlando areas. If you'd like to, schedule an appointment to have a conversation with me, I'd love to have a quick call with you, either virtually or through a Zoom meeting. Again, this is Liz. My direct line is 857-600-2370. Thanks. So I did not ask him if he wanted to take an offer on his house. What that ask was more for networking opportunity. I'm just going to put voicemail. Then I'm also going to save notes for myself. This is a good good number for Ed.
Automated voice messaging system. 40724733336 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for a next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks.
You are now connected to the predictive dialer.
I almost had information from the other call list. Okay.
Here, reach Lou. I'm not able to take your call right now. If you'd leave a return number and a short message, I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey Lou, this is Liz. I'm an investor and was hoping to network with you or have a quick conversation. Just looking to connect with owners that would be open for an offer. You know, if that's not you and you have some investor buddies or neighbors that are looking to sell property, let me know. 857-600-2370. Thanks. So that one I must have talked to him earlier last month. So when I do different dispositions, the back end does different things. So this not interested disposition, even though I left a voicemail message, I'm going to put, it'll keep them in the queue. It just does it a little bit further out. That's why I was asking Bruno, like how often he calls. So it'll wait a month or so versus kind of on a more like a weekly basis. And sometimes the redials can be sooner, they're just not within 3 days.
Password.
All right, I think that's so that predictive brought it to voicemail, but it wanted a password or something more like for voicemail, I guess, access. So I'm just gonna write no answer. But if it's an SMS enabled number, then it'll send a text message. So it's not completely lost. And this will get put back in the queue for another call. Ooh, that's a fax number. So fax numbers, I just put DNC. I don't want to hear them again.
The number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number and dial again. S.
Just make your notes and keep going.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Steve with Home Pride Realty.
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To send a fax, press 4 now. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey, Steve, this is Liz. I'm an investor. I'm based in Massachusetts. However, I am looking for my next investment property in Florida, specifically Orlando and Tampa market. So I was just hoping to schedule a phone conversation with you or a virtual meeting. Give me a call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So because he's an agent, I'm not going to necessarily go after him on a specific property, but just want to have a conversation, see if we can network together, whichever way. I don't know if he's more retail or what, but I'm going to put him under my agent, even though it's a voicemail message, I'm going to put him under my agent disposition because that will follow up with text messages that are kind of more appropriate. Hey, do you know any sellers selling? That kind of a thing. I don't know. Do you guys do a lot of virtual meetings? I do so many Zoom meetings.
Hey, this is Bob. Sorry I can't answer the phone right now. If you leave your name and number, I'll get back with you as quick as I can. Here's the tone.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Okay, we'll have to try Bob later. I'll put no answer. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My name's Liz. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Well, I was hoping to have a quick conversation with you. It sounds like I interrupted you. Is now a bad time?
About what?
Well, like I said, my name is Liz. I'm an investor. I'm looking for my next investment property, reaching out to owners. Have you thought about selling?
What property?
Well, I'm most interested in 2 areas in Tampa, but if somewhere else, I can definitely have that conversation. Your property in Tampa?
I don't have any.
Oh, okay. I might have the wrong information then. Do you own property in Florida?
No.
Okay. Do you have a property you would consider an offer on?
No.
Okay. All right. No worries there. Like I said, I'm an investor, so it doesn't need to be today or right away. Do you know anybody who would benefit from selling? Any friends, family, neighbors?
No.
No neighbors. Okay. All right. Well, no worries. Like I said, doesn't need to be today or right away. I am an investor. And so what we do is we set aside $1,000 in our marketing budget. If you're able to connect me with an owner, they sell, I buy, we would pay you $1,000 for that.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, I'll check back with you later. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Well, she let me get through the whole thing, so that's all I wanted. I'm gonna put under not interested, but I left the bird dog information.
Thank you for calling Gentry Partners and First Allied Securities. If you know your party's extension, you can dial it at any time. To reach Deborah Hogue, press 1.
I'll have to research that company later. Okay. Okay. So somebody asked a question. How do you get real buyers that don't try to steal your deals? Oh, that's a good question. So you definitely have to network. Networking in person, you'll get a better idea. Have a conversation, however you do it. Virtually through meetup groups or whatever. Try and set aside sort of an interview process for your buyers, and then you just have to build a relationship and put them on a ABC list. Your verified buyers, they're very reliable, they have the cash, they're very active, and you know what they like. They get that list first. And then kind of so on and so forth, and be upfront with them. If they're not honest or reputable, that they get blacklisted. So you don't have to sell or present deals to people like that. Yeah, where you find your buyer is very important too. Yeah. Yeah, some people have non-disclosure agreements as part of their process, but it's up to you. I mean, a lot of this business is built on reputation. So build a good name for yourself and work with people who are reliable, honest, and do things morally and ethically, right? Yeah, Mark had some good advice. Get the property under contract before presenting to buyers and cloud the title.
Please leave your message for 724552620.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Oh man, that's horrible.
Please leave your message for
Edwin, Carlos.
Hi, Edwin. This is Liz. I'm with Metro Units. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. All right. Do you only do deals in your state or all over the country? Well, I wish I was more focused like Bruno was. I've done deals in Massachusetts. I have done deals. I guess I'm a landlord or investor in Washington State, and from my call list, my local market in Massachusetts, I got connected with a seller who owns property in New York. So you never know where they're going to end up. I just follow the deals. But also Rhode Island, I'm pulling lists for Rhode Island because this community is South Shore based and in that market. So I will look. Yeah, once you get the basics down of where to go for information and how to evaluate and do that networking,
Has been forwarded to an automatic voice message
you can
system.
repeat it in different areas. You just got to notice the differences and intricacies between the markets.
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So somebody's asking, is this software provided by Call Tools? Is it CRM or just for cold calls? Okay, so this is Call Tools, but Call Tools is basically, software as a service, or it's a platform to build out for like a call center. So it's basically like a database. They bring their own record card, these contact cards, but I can build out all the columns however I want. And depending on the list that I'm uploading, I will either use certain fields or not. So yeah, you can basically create and fine tune it however you see fit. It's a very powerful tool. And I've adjusted it, like I've had it for about a year, so I've adjusted it over time. Medina, I think that was from you. Jermaine, so the deal's outside your state. Do you go get the deal or do you have someone to check it out? Oh, that's a good question. So you can do things virtually a couple of different ways, but you definitely need boots on the ground. So you can do that a couple of ways. You can JV with somebody who's there local, or you can have kind of a working agreement with another end buyer there if you want to get started out that way, or you can do it just completely virtual. So you're going to send your own person out there to do the seller appointments. You're going to send somebody out there to take the pictures or do the open houses. So that takes a little bit more, I think, effort on your part to do it virtually. But like I said, I've been in sales, so I'm used to working different states or different territories. You just have to have a big picture on it. Do I provide training on this? That's a good question. Well, this Monday night is sort of that avenue for it. I haven't built out a coaching program, but I look, hopefully I'll be able to do that one of these days. I fly out always. Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, fly, drive. Yeah. Am I in Houston or Florida? I'm based in Massachusetts. I'm in the Boston area, but I'm planning to move to Florida, and so I'm cold calling Orlando markets and Tampa in Florida. I used to work a different company, not real estate, but I used to work with schools in Texas, so East and West Texas. So Houston was one of my areas. So I haven't cold called that, but I am interested in real estate investing in the future in the Texas market. Who do I work for now? You can check out my Facebook page. It shows, I think, LinkedIn. I'll drop my social links in there in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop sharing the screen to do that. So is cold calling a full-time job or part-time job? So Yeah, I would say I can definitely put more time on my auto dialer. I do have a full-time job, so I do other sales activities for my W-2. But what I'm trying to build out is my whole system and process of how I want to pull the information. I have my auto dialer, I have my skip tracing source and service that I like using. And so I'm going to, put a work packet together or have that system in place for how I want to hire out a VA. I'm not going to hire out for cold calling just yet because I want to partner with other newer investors and give them the opportunity.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 352-682-5055 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So. Okay, send link invite, please. Okay, Riley. All right, I'll look you up, Riley. Thank you. So yeah, so I guess my bigger plan to do is eventually get, people that are coming up through the Alchemist community, give them the opportunity to, work out some cold calling on my lists. But we definitely have to build a little bit of a relationship before there's a little bit of an interview process before that. But I will hire out certain things to VAs and then other things I want to have a little bit more oversight in.
Please leave your message for
7 Holloway.
Hey, Kevin, this is Liz. I'm an investor and I'm looking for my next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Okay, smell. Okay, sorry, I have certain things on here. Here's my LinkedIn. Jermaine asked, do I have my real estate license? That's a good question. I will get it eventually. I took the class for Massachusetts and then got really busy. And then I said, oops, that was an inbound call. Oh, they hung up. So yeah, so the great thing about, getting your license is you'll have access to MLS, right? You'll be able to, keep more fees in-house. You could do listings or not. For me, it's a distraction and it's not in line with or necessary with my ultimate goal. So if I was doing things a little bit differently, I probably would get licensed. But it's not something on my hot list to do this year. I want to move. I'm just going to update this before I save it. Okay. But yeah, as a real estate agent, you can do a lot of the same activities too. Hello?
Thank you for calling Children's Health of Ocala, where we strive to provide.
It's not a number that is beneficial, so DNC. Sorry, I don't know what I did with it. Oh, there's a chat. So Jermaine, I think what you're asking for MLS access, I have a CRM system, so I can pull my own lists based on property information to a certain extent. I mean, MLS is going to be your best access, but I get mortgage information and I can filter and sort based on certain criteria. So I could do it based on number of bedrooms, bathrooms, location, zip code. Like I can kind of fine tune how I pull the list. And so I don't necessarily need it. It helps me do comps too. Again, I will reach out to my real estate agent friends. Hello? That's facts. I will reach out to my real estate friends in the areas, if I need to have better comps for ARV or something like that to help me out with the offer price. And so there, you can get it done. And I'm in a high price market, so I know, I know certain, areas you can really have a need to fine tune it. So. But I dig for information. That's what I do. So knowing where to go, knowing how to get it, who to get it from. Yeah, so usually I will ask I did a condo conversion project and my partners are both licensed. So sometimes I'll ask them, sometimes I will ask other, agents that are in the city or in the market the property is in, because they'll be able to give other insightful information. If we get it as a deal, like a fix and flip, usually that's the offer, is that we'll let them be the listing agent. Or send retail listings to them, because I'm not licensed, so I don't want to deal with retail sellers, buyers.
Customer you are attempting to call has not activated their voicemail box. You will not be able to leave a message at this.
Oh, so disappointing. Okay, but it's in an LLC, so. Okay. So sometimes skip tracing for LLC is a little bit harder because of the way it pulls, the skip tracing pulls the information. So sometimes you're going to want to go back and double check it if it's kind of a hot property or lead for you. Do the extra work. My lists are bigger, so I'll take a first pass and then as I whittle through it. Sometimes I'll have another window open. I can copy and paste, and I'll show you the next time a screen pops up too. You can look at property information. It'll pull Google Maps and it'll pull Zillow. It's a good question. Samuel asked, do I drive for dollars, D for D? I will walk for dollars. I don't personally drive for dollars because of where my market is at. What I look for is other people who are driving for dollars, and I give them the opportunity to add to my list. So what I mean by that is I've created a Google Drive or Google spreadsheet, and I can share the link, and it's kind of like a free app basically at that point, and they take a picture, send me the address, and then I can skip trace it on my end. Share it. Yeah, I'll give you a bird dog fee for that. But I mean, that's the caveat. It's got to be in kind of my local market. But if you want, I will also JV a deal with you. If you want help, running leads down, we could JV a whole. Hello? Oh, that's a fax. Yeah, we could JV a wholesale assignment. I'm doing dispositions for somebody that way. So it can be done. Let me stop sharing the screen for a second, and I'll throw it in the chat. Let's see. Do you have to have, I guess you just have to have an email. Okay, so this is, I'm going to throw it in the chat. Sorry if you're watching on Facebook or anything like that. So this is my driving. So add your properties to my list. So that's the driving for dollars. And then if you want to be added to my buyers list, I have a similar list. You just add yourself there. And then you can create these for yourself. I did a little show and tell last Monday, or maybe it was 2 Mondays ago. I can't remember. They're all merging together. But yeah, if you can partner up as you're getting started, get help evaluating the deal, having the conversation with the seller appointment, walkthroughs, all of that. Let's see. I think I'm going to have to find that other one later. I don't know where it is. Oh, you know what? I put it on my link tree. All right, there you go. Okay, so this one we've already finished DNC. Oh yeah, since I have it up here, we'll just show you. So, so the way Call Tools works anyway is typically the owner address is in. I put it in this first field card, and then the property site address is at a different site. So whatever address you have in the first address field is what's going to pop up on Zillow. So just keep that in mind. A lot of these are apartments or they're investment properties, so they're typically absentee owners. So I just pull it up. So this one is Sanford. Okay. Okay, close out of that. See if it'll pull it up. Oh, I didn't like that address either. All right, well, we'll find a different address later, but you get the idea. You can pop in and out of areas. See what it has for Google Maps. So Samuel, you say you have thousands of driving for dollar leads. So how do you qualify them? Like, how is that going? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but that's a lot of, is it in the same area? What market are you in? I'm just more curious. And then how are you reaching out? Are you cold calling? Are you door knocking too? Are you sending mailers? I mean, a lot of people use other apps like Deal Machine. I'm actually trying to cancel mine because I like the free version better. Yeah, and you just skip trace them. Yeah. Dallas Fort Worth. Okay, they're pre-qualified. That's awesome. That's good. Well, Samuel, if you want help, I know some investors that are in that market.
Please leave your message for 813323540.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Yeah, let's JV, let's do it. That's awesome. Yeah, finding stuff and having the conversations, depending on where your strengths are. Like I can't be everywhere all over the place, but I can have a decent phone conversation. Let's see. Voicemail. So, but I always need to rely on the boots on the ground or some of that other market knowledge. I can show you, like I helped somebody wholesale a deal in Texas before I did my own in my own market. So that was a while ago, but I was like, oh, that's awesome. I do know what I'm doing. At least I pointed him in the right direction. He did a lot of the heavy lifting too. So, all right. Yeah, well, everybody, yeah, learning here is great. Taking action, making the phone calls is great. Yeah, if you want to, JV or partner up, just I left I'll drop my contact information again, just so you guys have it for anybody who joined earlier or later. I'll put all the links in there. These are, oops, bigger pockets. I'm going to try do more on there too. Yeah, so half of it is just staying organized, right? You're pulling different lists. You want to make sure, you have have a good idea of what neighborhoods you need to be in, where your buyers are buying. So try that reverse prospecting aspect of it.
Hello.
Oh, hi, this is Liz. How are you?
Fine.
I'm hoping you can help me out. It sounds like it sounds like you're busy. I caught you at a bad time.
Who is this?
Well, like I said, my name is Liz and I'm an investor. Mostly I'm looking to connect with owners. Have you thought about selling your property? Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So the list I'm calling right now, on this list are Tampa area and Orlando area, and they're small multifamilies. So usually like two units and up. That's because that's what I had access from this list. I have another service that I can look for apartment buildings too. So I do those calls kind of separate, but a lot of it's just, networking. Hello?
Hello, you have reached Fatima Soriano from Tapas and Fam Catering. I am not available right now.
It's just a catering company. I can check back later. So when I ask people, professionals, to be added to my vendors list, I use it kind of two different ways. One is to see if they're established in the community. One is to see if they would kind of be considered to send me leads if I send them leads. So as I'm having different conversations, catering is a little bit of a stretch, but mostly where it applies are any kind of trades, handyman, contractors, that sort of thing, those types of business owners, landscapers, pest control, property managers, real estate agents, depending on where their focus is. But you don't know until you ask the question. No.
Your call has been forwarded to an
I'm on
automatic
the
voice
phone.
message
You need to
system.
leave.
813298419 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Yeah, so in the background, I've got 3 numbers, and they're toll-free numbers. They can do text messaging for Florida, and I don't need much more than that because just one person. The auto dialer will go through and do its dialing, and then hello.
Hello, we are
Tampa
not
called me.
available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Yeah. So I'll give you a funny story. So this weekend, I live in a multifamily. We're renting. I'm on the 3rd floor, and right next door to me, I kid you not. So for the last year, the fire alarm chirp has been going off, and I got annoyed enough to skip trace the owner and call. So I had a phone conversation this weekend, and the way I left the message on the outgoing voicemail, you know, I knew it was an owner and they were either self-managing or they could have possibly had a property manager on the property. So the way I left the message was basically, you know, hey, this is Liz. I have some information about your property, and you know, I left the city name, and then I said I'm not sure if you have a property management company on this, or if it's you as the owner, but I just like to have a chat with you. And so they called me back. I think that same day. So think of different ways to leave messages too, that, you know, are upfront and honest. I mean, that they had a real need. So if you're driving for dollars and you know the condition of the property, start there. You don't have to, I'm kind of flying blind working these big lists, but if you're creative in how you leave the message, what you want to try and do, what I try and do sometimes on the call too, is just like look for an opportunity that's a little counterintuitive. You want to try and get them to think, you know, think about the response. So I don't know what I was doing with this number. I think I left a message. So yeah, so Bruno, I mean, he has his kind of go-to. It sounded like he knew his script forwards and backwards. So, you know, he's making a lot of calls and having a lot of those conversations. So it will come with time.
You are now connected to the predictive dialer.
I forgot how many I started with, but at the end of the night, I can pull basically all the dispositions report. So I can have an email or like a spreadsheet, and the calls that are live, it will record them. So I have an audio version. So I do leave notes for myself so I can find certain things, but that's always helpful too.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 81350733253 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. Hello? We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. That's weird. I don't know if that's my headset side or what. was not a good message. Okay.
Been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 40778249448 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks.
Telephone number 813-225-4214. Can't take your call now. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, simply hang up or press pound for further options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers, know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. I just noticed this is probably a landscaping company, so I probably should have left a little bit different message, but next time we'll do that. Okay. Okay, so that looks good.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Sharon Anderson
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Sharon. This is Liz. I'm with Metro Units, metrounits.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who would benefit from selling, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Okay, so I mean the outgoing voice message like confirm the name. It could be related. Wife, mother, I don't know because there's other skip tracing that has an Anderson name. So I just left the message. We'll have to qualify a little bit later. Could be a house. I don't know. Cell number. Okay.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, metrounits.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text.
Hello?
Oh, hi. This is Liz. How are
Hi.
you?
Hi, I'm fine. I'm not interested in selling or anything.
Okay. Do you know anybody who would benefit from selling? Friends, neighbors, family?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Well, like I said, we're investors. We're just looking for our next investment opportunity. So it doesn't need to be today or right away. Would you mind hanging on to our contact information, or if I check back later?
Yeah, I've got it on my caller ID.
Okay. Well, keep in mind, we set aside $1,000 in our marketing budget. So if you're able to connect us with this seller, they sell, we buy, we would pay you $1,000 for that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not interested right now or
Sure.
anytime soon.
No, that's
for
okay.
sure.
Yeah, no, it takes time to establish a relationship or build trust. So I get it. No worries there. All right.
All
We
right.
appreciate your
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I wasn't really expecting that, but it could have gone worse. So I'll call it a win. Voicemail. So just the notes, she picked up the phone mid-message, so I let her know about the bird dog fee. All right, so instead of putting it on voicemail, because I'll call her back sooner, I'm just gonna put her under not interested, and it'll still send, still follow up, just not as frequently. Okay.
Please leave your message for 61779248857.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, metrounits.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Okay. Hello? Hello? Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, metrounits.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. That was weird. I didn't hear anything. I don't know. So you call them, if you don't get them, you leave a voicemail, then you have an automatic voice call or something to get in touch with them. So Jermaine, some of the like cold calling or calling marketing laws have changed recently. So they've kind of tightened up certain things. I've left articles about it in our Facebook group. So check it out. But I think marketers aren't supposed to be leaving or doing like robocalling anymore. So that's what they're cracking down on. But leaving a live voicemail message using an auto dialer, that's still legal, doing it that way. But yeah, that's my process. It does. So this campaign system called Tools, I can make live calls like I'm doing right now, right? I can send out text messages either in an automated stream, or I can pull this up and send a custom one. Like that's what I'll do a lot of times on my calls. If I hear in the background, I can hear they're like driving or something like that. I go, is now a bad time? Should I, just follow up with a text, and then I'll send that off kind of separate. And so it keeps, past messages in here, so you can send it out just through the dashboard that way, or have it automated. But then you can also do emails. I don't do it as an automated sequence yet, or on these, because they're all cold, they're all initial. So I have it here, but I want to qualify that the seller, the owner, or the person on the other end wants to receive an email from me. So I'll have them verified, but I have templates in here kind of ready to go to pull information that's kind of custom from all these fields. So like for example, this is more apartment. So I'm trying to network is kind of the end goal with this one. So hi, first name, it'll replace and use that first name field. We're looking for a next investment opportunity, looking to network with other landlords, investors, property managers, or agents. So if you or anyone you know of are considering offers, we'd like to talk, call, or text. So it's kind of the same voicemail message, just a little bit more refined, and then they can click on this link and book time on my calendar. So that's one template, but I have others that are more directed, to sellers. So those are all ready to go. And then I think you can, once you do a disposition, so I still have to update my system here, but this is what my aha moment, I think the last go around. Based on a disposition, you can send out email sequencing that way too. So if I updated it and I do it right, if instead of on this voicemail, if I have, needs analysis, then maybe the email sequencing or email messaging that comes after that is, schedule an appointment for a cash offer, that type of messaging. So it'll still do follow-ups in between maybe appointments or something like that. So you don't lose sight on that as a potential lead, but just one way you can build this out and customize it. So I don't necessarily use call tools as my CRM be all and end all, but I can do a lot of the heavy lifting with the lead generation or nurturing or qualifying process in there. And then anything that is, a really serious potential, for evaluation and appointment setting, that goes in my CRM and does a little bit different process. So I can see it. I don't know what happened with this one voicemail. Okay. Yeah, so Jermaine, so yeah, the sequencing, I've shown it before, but as we get to the end of the call, if you stick around long enough, put yourself through all that torture. No, just kidding. So I have basically 6 different touch points on each disposition. So for every 6 times I hit the button, left a voicemail message, or hit the button, no answer or whatever, it calls that same number 6 different times in the whole, they call it campaign, the whole sequencing. And then after that 6 times, I can recycle the list, and anybody I put on DNC, they don't get on the next call cycle, but you can see how many different times you've reached out. So that's the idea, is that you're going to keep calling until you actually have a conversation or they call you back. But again, it's that end goal of either getting an appointment. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi, this is Liz. How's it going? Hello?
Hello?
Oh,
Yeah.
hi, sorry. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I realize it's the evening hours and the calls out of the blue. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Yeah, where are you? I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure. Well, fair enough. My name is Liz, and I'm looking to connect with owners. I'm an investor, and I'm looking for my next investment property. Have you thought about selling?
No.
Okay. All right.
And I,
No worries there. Like I said, I'm an investor. Do you know anybody who would benefit from selling? Friends, family, neighbors?
no, I don't know nothing about that.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, no worries. I'm just an investor. So I don't need to buy today or right away, but we set aside $1,000 in our marketing budget. So if you're able to connect me with a seller, they sell, I buy as an investment.
I don't know when somebody get a seller.
Okay.
I don't know who is selling.
Yeah, no worries. It might not even be today or next week. Should I check back?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about selling.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
What do you want I do?
Okay. No worries. Thank you for your time. All right. It's not interested. Okay.
It's your nickel.
Hey, how's it going, Sam?
Oh, you came up potential spam. Who's this?
Sorry. My name is Liz, and I am an investor. So I am reaching out. I apologize if it says spam. I'm reaching out to network. Mostly I'm looking to connect with landlords, real estate agents, property owners that own in the Tampa and Orlando markets.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to find things to buy, we're not interested in selling.
Sure.
But is that what you're calling about?
Well, like I said, mostly it's an activity, an exercise in networking until I can relocate, move down there myself, and do more face-to-face like RIA events and build relationships with brokers and property managers and landlords.
And what is it that you do?
Well, I'm an investor, so I buy and I sell. I fix and flip.
Okay.
I do a little bit of everything. I've been a landlord for 10 years. So I invest in real estate.
Yeah, I mean, it may be there may be something that we manage a lot of condominium and town associations. Sometimes folks are looking to sell in those. So if you can email some information to brpm@verizon.net, I can keep it on file.
Okay, at Verizon.
.net. Yeah, B as in boy, B as in boy, R as in Robert, P as in Peter, M as in Mary at Verizon.net.
Perfect. I'll send you an email, and I appreciate and respect your time. So thanks for taking a chance on my nickel.
No problem. No problem.
All right.
Have a good
Take
evening.
it easy, Sam. All right.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. See, okay, so that was 3 times the charm, and I guess apparently my number is coming up as spam, so that's not good. So I'm going to put him under the property management heading, and he gave me his email, so now I will show you how it actually works. So it's all in there, email, and then apartments and property managers. Okay, so I'm going to change this heading. I didn't, I'll just put looking to network. Okay. I mean, you could say with industry professionals or whatever, I'll keep it short. He seems pretty straightforward guy. So it'll say, hey Sam, we're looking for our next investment opportunity and looking to network with other landlords, investors, property managers, or agents. So you see how I prep that call? Like, I know what my messaging is for follow-up. So I try and have those same talking points or those aspects in the conversations that I'm having with the counterpoint, the person on the other side of the phone. So he'll have that reserved time on my, so that's fine. This is, he's got everything now. So we'll send that. And your email was sent. That's the message. That's how quick and easy it is. Click of a button, and then I go back to the contact. And then when I leave this, it'll save it, but I'm gonna put had a conversation. I chat with Sam. They do property management, not looking to sell, but possibly add to buyers list. Okay, and then we'll go from there. So that was pretty productive. That was a good call.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 40732507777 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, metrounits.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So, So if you're just joining us, we are calling Florida multifamilies. So could be Tampa, could be Orlando, but those are the types of properties that are on this call list.
Warren Young
is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
Hi, Owen. This is Liz. I'm with Metro Units, metrounits.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Yeah, so this is a cold list. I, for the most part, have these will all be first calls. I have a few redials, but most of them have been new.
Sorry, the mailbox is full and there is not enough space to leave a message.
Oh, I should have left, probably send a text message. That's okay. I will do it anyway.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, metrounits.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, metrounits.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Okay.
You've reached Preston Kirk's voicemail. Please leave a message and I'll call you back.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Okay. Hello?
Hello, this is Curtis.
Oh, hi, Curtis. This is Liz. How are you?
Liz, hi, how you doing?
Good. I don't think we know each other, but I'm hoping you can help me out a little bit.
Shit, have we met before?
Yeah,
Are you a friend of a friend?
Well, I'll tell you. I'm an investor, and I'm looking for my next investment property in Florida. So mostly I'm just looking to connect with owners, and I think this number is probably not actually for you, but just thought I'd throw it out there to see if you know anybody who would be open to selling a property.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have no idea. I don't own property myself. None of my peers really do either. You might want to look elsewhere, I'm afraid.
No worries there. I totally get it. I understand. Like I said, I am an investor, so it doesn't need to be, today or right away. But what we do is we set aside $1,000 in our marketing budget. So if you're able to connect me with a seller, they sell, I buy, then we would pay $1,000 for that. So I can lose your
Well, I
number
appreciate
too.
the information. Yeah. I don't think I have any need of it though.
Okay. You haven't thought about investing in real estate?
No, not really. It's not my bag.
Oh, what are you into?
Not talking to telemarketers. Please take me off the call list.
That's
Thank
fine.
you.
All right. Take care.
You too.
That's funny. Not talking to telemarketers. All right. Okay.
Hi, you reached Joe. Please leave me a message and I'll get back with you promptly. Thanks.
Hi, Joe. This is Liz. I'm an investor with MetroUnits.com, and we're looking to network with property owners, landlords, property managers, other investors. So just wanted to see if you're open to a conversation. My number is 857-600-2370. Thanks. Okay.
call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 407-288-4490 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks.
Please leave your message for 718-825-6414.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks.
Please leave your message for 32135633262.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks.
been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 407-452-4151 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 407-758-4400 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Almost like California. I'll buy in California too, but that's not this list. Okay, well, we can let this be the last call. Okay, I'll show you. So in the back end, so it's 7:45, we end at 8. There's another coaching call. It's the 8-week mentorship program. So I'll just take the last little bit of time to kind of show you the results from tonight's calls. So there is a reporting, there's lots of different menus in here, but I'll just show you what's going on with tonight. So the call stats, I'll just show you kind of the connection rates. So I have 6 different lists. That's what the active campaigns are about. But really you're only calling one list at a time. And I called a total of 268 numbers and I had 76 live calls in that 2-hour time span. So that's pretty decent. And then look at the connection rates. So This is outstanding. Only 25% of the calls got dropped, meaning it wasn't so back to back with the calls and the connections. I think that's just like a nice sweet spot. I've had it where like, you know, half of that, like 50% have been abandoned. And I think that's where you get a lot of frustration too, and maybe flagged as spam. So I like the quality in the numbers. I like using and having the fine tune of the, you know, call tools that auto dialer dialed in. There's always room for improvement, but I think for the most part, you know, I had some good connections tonight, and then I'll be able to look at the spreadsheet or the download log of all the numbers that were called, and then kind of keep that list moving. So right now, I forget, I usually keep track and see what
You
I
are now
started with,
connected
but
to the predictive dialer.
yeah, I've got another basically 2,000 worth of numbers to call on that before I can recycle it. So about 1,000 that are good for redials, and then these are all the new ones. So I hope you guys enjoyed the evening, had some good calls. Save the chat because there's good information in there for networking, and then we will see you on the next call. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, you're welcome, Kev. Thanks for being a valuable member and showing up every week.
Just try to do my pot.
Thank you. It's like I feel like I'm just talking to myself here half the time. That's okay. So Samus says, what's a recycle? That's a good question. So call tools, I showed you the back end of that, the auto dialer. So basically you have one call list and you're making your outbound calls, right? And so it keeps track of, you know, the idea is to have that connection with the person on the other line. So if you don't ever connect with them, it keeps them on that list. The other thing you do too is take people off the list, like the DNCs, as I was marking them. Oh, this is a fax number, I don't want to call that number again. Or this is a business, I don't want to call that number again. So you whittle away all those I don't want to calls, and then you're kind of condensing your list with that recycle. So you take that same list and then you just call it again. You could do the same sequence, it's just over a different period of time frame. So that's good. That's how you get your sweet spot list. The multiple ways of touching people. That's how you kind of build the rapport. You show yourself as somebody who's consistent and showing up and reliable, and hopefully that builds that trust to where you can actually have that conversation and then take that into a deal. So if there's any other questions, we got maybe like 10 minutes or so left. I can answer questions. I just don't like leaving at the very end, especially on an East Coast list. If it's West Coast, I mean, we take the time up, but it's going to stop me anyway at 8 o'clock. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, I enjoy my auto dialer. Not everybody is into it. There's other dialers out there, but whatever gets you on the phone, whatever keeps you organized and straight. I mean, you could just do this with a spreadsheet and dial by hand. There's other tools and systems out there. This one just works for me because I'm able to do a couple of different things with it and have it set up with automation. But whatever gets you out there in the marketplace, making those calls, connecting with those sellers, more power to you. So I'm going to save the chat. It's a good place to network, get some connections with other people, other markets, and ask those questions. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.